Herein opens the court of the Consules of the East.
Welcome to an unseasonably warm November.
Very, very warm, yes. I believe I am in wool and I am kind of dying.
I'll take it. I'll take a couple extra warm days.
Yeah,
nice.
we'll certainly do that.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's fantastic to catch up with the recordings and be in a spot where we get to officially recognize the populace of the East, come together for a little bit of medieval.
This also gives us the opportunity to actually put out some important messages. So if you continually watch our court, it's one of our ways to be able to get messages out to the East Kingdom, and it's really great to have folks be able to have those messages and to be able to communicate these messages themselves. So I think we should go right to...
Yes, one of those very important messages is coming from our Earl Marshal, especially as we are moving forward into winter.
Greetings. I hope this finds you all well. I'm here to announce today that I am loosening the restrictions on all martial fighting practices. The previous rule was that they all had to be outdoors. As of now, in locations that allow indoor sports practices, you have an indoor fighting practice of any of the martial persuasions following all local restrictions. That is, if a local area allows non-contact practices, you may have a non-contact practice. And if they allow contact practices, you may have sparring. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Grace. It is fantastic to see that we are able to cautiously move back to some activities, keeping local restrictions and the safety of the populace foremost in our mind.
The safety of the populace is one of our big things, so that this is some really good news in a sense, but still please do it as your comfort level allows.
I'm hoping at this point we're going to start seeing some things from the past where we said nice things about people.
Yes.
Their Majesties would have before them Yayu no Kagatoke.
Apparently they're being summoned.
Chris is here. Was it?
Yagu is here.
Yagu is here.
Can you come a little closer? You can't see you. Yay! All right. It's dark where they are.
It's night. So I understand that you're quite an accomplished cook.
I have been told that, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. There was an immersive Roman feast that I have heard fantastic things about.
Can you tell us more about what that feast encompassed?
Certainly. So we endeavored to research a lot of the cuisine featured in Apicius, which is a fantastic work from the period, probably the earliest Western cookbook we have. We went to pretty extraordinary lengths to do so. My compatriot, Phelan Finn, handled all the front of the house, if you will, all the decoration and the activities. And I, with some assistance from some members of my household and others, took care of the food. It was a pretty resounding success, we felt.
What was your favorite dish?
Probably. It seems that others enjoyed the brains quite a bit. It was a really great project to go into some of the components. The garum, the fish sauce, was pretty extraordinary, and that was a really great thing to feature. Weird as it was to produce. So that was certainly a great thing. All of the rabbit dishes, I was a fan. I suppose my favorite dish was the favorite dish of everyone who enjoyed it.
Good answer. Good answer.
Well said. Well, listen, your research and your dedication to producing period food through period methods and then sharing that knowledge widely is commendable. And there's a group of people that would like to see you recognized.
Heard very good things from these folks.
Their Majesties would have before them the companions of the Order of the Maunch.
So if there are launches that wanted to unmute themselves to let us know they're here, that's okay. I'm just going to keep talking about how fantastic this individual is. Yagyu, it is an honor to get to recognize someone who has shown such diversity and dedication.
In the great eastern realm, Yagyu no Kagetoke tends to the fires in the hearth of the barony of Setmore Swamp. For many years he has traveled the world and learned cuisines of cultures that are far away from the land of the rising sun that he hails from. Now, under his stewardship, the kitchens of the barony of Setmore Swamp and the canton of Griffinwald serve delicious feasts aplenty inspired by Yagyu's travels. From the marbled halls of Rome to the sunlit roads of Syria. Consules Tindal and Alberic, having tasted delicious fare that Yagyu has prepared, see it fit that all know of his talent and skill, and that he be further recognized. They hereby induct Yagyu no Kagetoke into the Order of the Maunch and grant him arms. Done in the fall court during the year of the plague. Scroll by Lada Mongooligan.
Thank you.
For Yagyu, newest companion to the Order of the Maunch. Viva!
Viva!
Viva! Viva! Their Majesties would have before them Yasmin bin Al-Hajar.
Hello, Your Majesties.
Hello.
Hello. So you are quite an accomplished scribe. I feel like I've seen a tremendous amount of your work, and my favorite thing is discovering it's your work because so often it's a different style than the last piece I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a favorite piece?
I do, but it's not out yet.
Oh, all right.
I like that answer.
I do too.
Right? My favorite piece is often the last one I did. Well, I wanted to take a moment to say that it is a pleasure, and with the strong support of the Order of the Maunch, that we include you in their number today. Your dedication, your use of period examples sets you on a strong path forward, and it is absolutely time that you were due this honor.
We have much to say to the East this night. Yasmin bin Al-Hayyar put stars to flight. We declare her skills earn augmentation. She raises the East with her hand and light. We directly seek to raise her station for calligraphy and illumination. Her raiment, as well, elegant and sleek. The Order of the Maunch meets this vocation. Councils, Tindal and Alberic bespeak of this fine alchemist with pen and ink, granted at ethereal court with delight, with copious speech that is not oblique. Words by Aislinn Kiobach, illumination by Fenula the Volatile, calligraphy by Master Vittorio Antonello.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure to do this.
For Yasmin, newest companion to the Order of the Maunch. Viva!
Viva!
Viva! Viva!
Okay, Yasmin.
Congratulations.
You.
Their Majesties would see before them Elaine Howes of Morningthorpe.
At your service, your majesties.
Very good. Where should we start? There's so many things that this gentle has done.
I remember her from ANS champs, her black work, her gold work, and
I did see a bunch of that at St. Eligius as well.
yes. And whenever I bring her name up, the first thing it's have you seen the jacket? Anytime the name comes, have you seen the jacket? Can I talk to you about the jacket? It is a masterwork.
I guess.
Thank you.
And medievally, when you finished your masterwork, there was recognition and title that was bestowed upon you. We have a similar means within our society and would like to recognize your skill by offering you a writ to join the Order of the Laurel.
Woo!
Yay, Elaine!
Yippee!
Awesome.
I'm speechless. As you can imagine, this is a great honor. You remember my jacket? It only took 3 years, you know, it wasn't a big deal. But I do thank you, and I most graciously accept this honor.
It is our humble pleasure to be able to recognize someone that has put in so much time and work, and we look forward to coordinating an appropriate way to finish the business we have started.
And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to want to talk to you before we get there. So.
Oh, I got to make a new outfit. Oh, dear.
Excellent.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I've been there.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, Elaine.
For Elaine and the question before her, Vivat.
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 Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Their Majesties would have before them Naya Calera.
Hello.
Hello. I recognize you from teaching glasswork at Kensett.
Yeah, that would have been me.
You also kind of coordinate your garb to the glasswork that you do?
Yes, apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. But I love fabric and I love glass, so it works.
Do you have a favorite glass piece?
You know, anything Roman, really. And I know that sounds like, kind of cheesy, but
I really like that answer. That's a really good answer.
Listen, if the answer is the correct answer, it's not pandering at all.
Well, they really had the best glass, which is why my persona is Roman.
I would agree, and that is why I frequently go to watch you make glass, because I need more of it. Well, listen.
After seeing your mugs last week, you do need some more glass.
Yes, I agree with that.
We'll have to do something about that.
That's fair.
That is fair.
That's fair. I will claim Butterfingers on one of my glasses, but
also fair.
But no, you make an excellent point. It's a commitment to having the food and the drink in the appropriate piece.
It really makes a difference. Yeah.
If I may.
Certainly.
Yeah. I like the brazenness with which you have attacked our choice of gobletry. But if I'm going to tolerate that familiarity, I'm going to need.
I think we need to do a thing.
I'm going to need you to accept something from us.
Okay.
We definitely need to give you a writ to the Order of the Lord.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yay!
Wait, who said that? Are we sure? Yes, we're quite positive.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Blood.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
No.
I'm just really warm in here.
A hearty congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We're happy for you.
I do like. Yes, the glass goblets are coming out. The things that she made are being shown. It just proves that her love and commitment to glass blowing is there, and definitely requires the written.
And has infected others, and we will now await the terms in which we can hear your answer.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm honored.
You're most welcome.
Congratulations, my love.
For Calera and the question before her. Vivat!
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 Congratulations.
Thank you.
A hearty congrats to you. Wow.
Now I know that speechless feeling.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And if anybody knows me, they know that's kind of rare.
So true to her word, she did send us some very glass mugs, so we can be more period in how we appear in court.
Matches my clothing and everything.
It does.
At this point, we'd like to take a moment to reflect back on the skill and generosity of the subjects of the East in ensuring the safety of others, and reviewing our PPE and donated mask counts.
So there were 11,492 masks made,
2,125 ear savers,
116 scrub hats,
241 face shields,
and 148 doll masks.
We express our sincerest gratitude that we have taken the time to get through this as a kingdom when there was such a need, and hope that moving forward, as the rest of society catches up to us, we can continue with these efforts, but focus on some other projects as well. Thank you for your generosity.
And now to see some more recognitions.
Their Majesties require before them Black Douglas.
Oh, all right.
There's some faces.
Right?
How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good, sir. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I see you've dragged along a friend. I want to thank you very much for that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about fighting. One of my favorite things watching you fight is not only how fast you improve your own skill, but how you're able to calibrate to the skill of your opponent, right? That a new person isn't overwhelmed, but that an experienced fighter is pushed as hard as you can.
Sir.
That is a commendable ability to bring to the field. And when I watch the fights you have and the prowess you bring against some of the most skilled individuals within the East, there's a group I think of, and if they are here today, I would invite them into court. Audrey, could you call an order for me?
I'd be happy to, Your Majesty. Their Majesties would see before them the companions of the Order of the Tiger's Combatant.
So Douglas, I know that I can speak confidently with the support of the order when I say we would like you to stand with us. We would have you recognized today as a member of the Order of the Tigers Combatant. And I am hoping that the individual with you has a small token of rank to share with you.
I do, Your Majesties. And if I may, it's,
Yes.
it's an old medallion and it's an esteemed medallion. First worn by my mentor, Master Wolfgar of the Wood. Then myself, Jarl Master Ruslan Novgorodtsev. My squire, Viscount Sir Edmund Drakator. And many squires after that, including Master Wolfbrand Wiggin, Talon Wristbiter, Sir Hassan Ibn Abd al-Malik, Hasaji Morikatsu, Seamus McNaughton, who unfortunately no longer walks this earth, and Bergsfine Hombrater, and now, if I may, with your permission, present it to Black Douglas.
Please.
Extremely humbled, Your Majesties. Extremely humbled. I'm glad that I was able to, strive and achieve, the honor of wearing this around my neck and the honor of knowing that at the end of the day, we'll kick someone's ass.
You are making yourself better, and along the way, you are making our kingdom better. We would have you absolutely marked as someone who has accomplished and honors our kingdom with all of your deeds and actions. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesties. Thank you.
Never ending in hunger do the tigers of the Eastern Realm sharpen their ferocious claws. Through countless tests of might and fortitude is their mettle tested. The determination in one's dedication to the sword is measured through its ease of use. One such warrior has stood out time and again, bearing the name Black Douglas of the mighty Hrafnox. And so, in testimonial, do we, Margarita de Siena, Queen of the Eastern Kingdom, award him entry into our Order of the Tigers Combatant and grant him arms. Given to him on this day with the charge to continue his pursuits towards self-excellence and betterment. Illumination by Yasemin bint al-Hajar. Calligraphy by Svana Vefa. Words by Hassan ibn Abd al-Malik.
Their Majesties require before them also Demetrius Alexandros.
My consuls, Demetrius, as ordered.
Demetrius, I have spent about 2 years telling stories about your heroics, your dedication to fighting. Don't squint at me like you don't know what you've done. Anyone who wants to talk to me about Demetrius and the woods, or Demetrius and endurance fighting, or Demetrius's single heroic impact on any battle he's in, his inspiration as we are apart and at home to keep us training and getting better, and most importantly, that this was a decision that was made well before we were sitting at home.
Most
and I
certainly.
regret that it has taken us this long to get to you, but you have been worthy of this order for a long time, and it is a pleasure of happenstance that I get to be the one that welcomes you into the Order of the Tigers Combatant, to join us as you have on the field with prowess, skill, and dedication.
It is so much well-deserved. We fought in fight practice. It's so readily apparent that you belong into this order.
My consuls, both you and this order, honor me beyond words. Thank you.
I believe that we just heard about a medallion that will probably be making its way to you at some point. And it is nice to see your name attached to that lineage as well.
Thank you.
We do have the medallion here.
No, I don't. If you can pass it to him, I would be really impressed.
So
That'd be a great magic trick.
So in lineage, this medallion originally belonged to Master Wolfgar of the Wood, Jarl Master Ruslan Nogovrad, Viscount Sir Edmund Drakater, Master Wolfbrand Wigan, Talon Wristbiter, Sir Hassan ibn Abad al-Malik, Sir Hasaji Muragatsu, Seamus McNaughton, who is my brother and will always will be in my heart, Bergvine Han Zotjada, myself, and now on to Demetrius Alexandros. This is yours, my brother.
I love you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Well done, Demetrius.
Velut boant tigrides, item pugnatores orientales, et valdius nemo quam Demetrius Alexandros. Simul Macedonico quo nomen fert, molles es in proelio, hostes vincens et animi sociorum sustinans. Velut Alexander Magnus, concurret hostibus eius, vincens in terram prensicis. Cum gladium et pilum, scientia eius scientur omnibus, et quanto consules, qua propter fecit rogant, responsum donatur. Talis es commodum miles fortis. In annum 55 ab societate condita, in primo anno Tindale et Alberica consolibus, inter lucum Ethereum exultant Demetrium Alexandron ad ordinem Tigrides combatans. As tigers roar, so too do Eastern fighters, and none more loudly than Demetrius Alexandros. Just as the Macedonian whose name he bears, he is a force on the field of battle, defeating his foes and lifting the spirits of his allies. Like the great Alexander, he charges his enemies, defeating them on Pensic soil. His skill with sword and spear are known by all, and, when the consuls ask, why does he do this, the answer is given. So acts a brave soldier. In the 55th year from the founding of the society, during the first year of their consulship, in ethereal light do Tindal and Alberic elevate Demetrius Alexandros to their order of the Tiger's Combatant. Calligraphy and illumination by Aurelia Colleoni Apocoforno, text by Aelia Fortunata.
For Black Douglas and Demetrios, newest companions to the Order of the Tiger's Combatant. Vivant!
Yeah. Welcome, brothers.
Just one more name I would like to hear called this evening.
Their Majesties would have before them Quintus Lucius Fortunatus.
I'm here, Your Majesties.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm well, thank you.
So 6th place at Burka. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That is something I strive for.
Twice baronial champion of Karelin.
Yes.
You are an incredibly skilled fighter. We can talk about single sword, we can talk about long sword, but you are also gracious and fair. There are fighters on the field that approach an opponent with skill, and there are those who you can point at and say, that is comportment. And you have both, and it is impressive. And there are a number within the East that have been impressed with your skill, your comportment, your growth, your accomplishment. We would have you stand among them today and induct you into our Order of the Tiger's Combatant.
You honor me, Your Majesties.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sirs.
When it's all over, I get to fight all of you. Prove my worth.
Right there with you. Right there with you.
To Quintus Lucius Fortunatus, November 8th, AS 55, from their Imperial Majesties Tindal and Alberic of the East. We are informed by dispatches and messengers that you have become known throughout the kingdom for your knowledge and skill on the field of battle, especially with sword and shield, two-weapon, and spear. Wherefore, hearing these claims, did we endeavor to find out for ourselves if these reports were true. We learned of your immense prestige, and thus the unvarying belief in your commiserate skills have convinced us of the great importance that the known world should be acquainted with what you have accomplished. Thus we did consult with our advisors on what we should do and found that we only have one recourse. We do proclaim to all that as we gather at our ethereal court, we do name you a member of the Order of the Tiger's Combatant. Further, do we announce and grant you arms, ghouls in bend, 2 lions' heads kabast, and a chief argent, so that all may know of your worth to ourselves and the kingdom. Scroll by Baroness Ekaterina Velkova.
For Quintus, newest companion to the Order of the Tiger's Combatant. Vivat!
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 Ave Quintus!
Their Majesties would see before them the Sovereign's Bardic champion, Grim the Skald.
Good evening.
I am here, Your Majesties.
I always like to check in with my champions.
He's missing some regalia.
I'm wearing the wrong garb.
No.
Okay.
It's important. Wait. Coordinating your garb is very important.
Right.
And regalia or no, you still carry the rank.
That is true.
I just want you to know that in the times when we got together, this is when I would have called you into court to speak about the time we first met. I love that. And I'd like to add just a little bit to the end of that story because we first met on the heavy field, but so much of your time now is spent on the rapier field. And I have benefited from your tutelage at fighter practice as I improve myself and now chase you. And I think it's important to see as the tables have turned and you conspicuously best me, that if I was to speak of someone, I looked up a description of a creature, a strong swimmer, as it emerges from the water, sabers in both hands, drawing blood from its enemies to sustain itself. And I thought of you, and I heard the voices of many saying that we needed to recognize you.
He's got a list of accomplishments in the rapier community right now. So you ran the War of the Roses tournaments for us. You're part of the command staff for Penzic. You're currently the marshal in charge for Anglesburg, right?
Yes, I'm those things.
You also recently broke some stuff in your house.
I'm the bane of...
Trying to do some research with a long sword. You accidentally broke some stuff in your house.
Yeah. I am the bane of my light fixtures, Your Majesty.
When I look at you right now, I think of 3 things. I think of a friend. I think of someone that is a constant threat on the field, from watching you at heroic melee champs at Penzic to practice. And the third thing I think of when I look at the person in front of me right now is someone that we should recognize as a member of the Order of the Golden Rapier.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Yay, Grim! I told you there'd be cookies.
There are cookies.
Hey, Grim. All right, Grim.
Woohoo! The cookies are sharp and delicious.
Welcome, Grim. Welcome, Grim.
Tasty cutty cookies.
Welcome, Grim.
Congratulations, Grim.
Grim. I am humbled and I thank you.
Don Grim.
It is our pleasure and clearly with the strong will of the order behind us to recognize the dedication and the accomplishment that you have earned.
Thank you, Your Majesties. I will endeavor to be worthy of the honor, and I will have to see you at some point in the rapier list so I can address that story of ours. I don't think it'll be quite so one-sided on my end as it was on your end, but hopefully I'll have a better accounting of myself.
I am certain.
Congratulations.
For all other guards in this art, guards that are similar are counters to each other, with the exception of the guards that stand ready to thrust, the long guard, the short guard, and the middle iron gate. For when it is thrust against thrust, the weapon with the longer reach will strike first, and whatever one of these guards can do, so can the other. Grim the Skald has come to observe these words with his practice of the two-handed sword. Furthermore, Grim knows that the sword can make the same three movements, namely stable turn, half turn, and full turn, as taught by the masters of old. Be it the powerful iron gate, or the stance of the queen on the right or left, the stable middle iron guard, wild boar's tusk, shortened stance, or the stance of the long tail, or the fluid stance of the window, extended stance, headband stance called the crown, or two-horn stance, Grim and his blade move swiftly in attack or defense. Grim is not known for only skill with a two-handed sword. He has shown his prowess with other weapons, not insignificantly the sword and buckler, as well as service in teaching and marshalling at many opportunities. Whoever wants to see fencing as one beautiful song should study this bard in his manner that could be called the Skald of Battle. It is for this reason that we, Tindal and Alberic, Consules of the Kingdom of the East, do induct Grim the Skald into our Order of the Golden Rapier, done in our Ethereal Court, AS 55. Text by Malcolm Bowman. Calligraphy by Mikkel von Salm. Illumination by Camille Desjardins.
For Grim, newest companion to the Order of the Golden Rapier. Vivat!
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 Hold on, no, Grim.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I didn't unmute myself. What?
No, don't mute yourself. Don't mute yourself. I forgot to ask.
Yes.
Is there a medallion there for you? No? It may not have made it to you.
Not there.
It is not there yet, Your Majesty. It will be.
Master Kane, could you tell Grim what is going on with the medallion as it makes it to him?
Oh, no.
I could. So, Grim, I've known you for a very long time. And when we legacy something, it's usually a lineage. But a man of your profound impact to our community has really done more to drive that lineage out and assist so many others along the way. You have been beholden to no one teacher. You've been a font of knowledge for many students. So your ogre pin is currently making its way through the East Kingdom, being worn by every ogre that has raised their hand for a chance to wear it. And when it's finally done, it will be the most traveled pin I've ever seen.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
I could think of no better person to wear a pin worn by pretty much almost every ogre, barring a few that had mundane complications. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Their Majesties would have back before them Lilius de Sherrington.
Hello.
Oh, again. A little bit of deja vu. Wait, we talked last week, right?
Yes, we did.
You are currently, just to double check, you are currently in the Kingdom Martial Offense, yes?
I am, yes.
Represents and advocates for rapier, but also exceedingly clean technique and economy of motion. Constantly representing and advocate for rapier studies and community. You could not be more clearly a subject of the East, both in your local group and at the kingdom level. Taking time at your practice to teach new fighters, but you are also improving yourself and excelling in your own prowess.
Trying to, yes.
I think you should just do it. There is an order. I have seen members around us in this meeting that would like you to join them, and it would be happy at this time for us to provide you with a writ to join the Order of Defense.
Thank you, Your Majesties. I'm honored.
It is our pleasure. If there's anyone here from the Order of Defense that would like to say a sound to let us know, come join us.
Hello, Liz.
Yay!
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yay. Everybody.
Way to go, boss.
And welcome. Congratulations.
I'm honored.
It was my intention to get them to speak up so that we could scroll through some faces of people who commended you to us and said that you needed to be a member of their order. We're going to send you a way to think about this and figure out a way that we can move forward that fits your desires. But no, you have our support. You have the order support. This is well deserved. Very well deserved.
For Lilius and the question before her, Vivat!
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 So we do have some thank yous to give out for these lovely backdrops and stuff that we've been showing you in these past courts. And as you can just recently saw, that was October, and it was the white marble with the gold columns. And we'd really like to thank the Honorable Lady Olivia Baker,
The Honorable Lord John Fitzthomas,
Lady Jenna von Gugelsberg, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, John. I really apologize.
Lady Tabitha DeLong,
and of course our own Chief of Staff, Baron G. Emerson True.
Fantastic work. A lot of skill going into making the northern villa look presentable, but as you can see, it's November. We're in the south.
And a lot of those same people put efforts into our lovely backdrop here as well. We're going to add some names. Elena the Blue.
The Honorable Lady Deidre O'Rourke.
And Jeremy.
And then just running back real quick through the others, because they still did the work. The Honorable Lord John Fitzthomas.
Well, we also have to include Baron Rise Aiden before, because we didn't include him in the last list. So I definitely want to say his name now.
Good catch, thank you. Baron G. Emerson True.
And you already said John Fitzthomas, so I am going with Lady Jonathan Gugelsberg.
And Lady Tabitha DeLong. Thank you for taking all the hard ones for me. We really appreciate everyone who is doing so much service, not just in the sets, but the scribes that are getting the scrolls done, so that people are still getting the scroll to remember the moment, the award.
But truthfully, they're doing a really most of the hard work for those to be able to get these out in a timely manner, and we want to thank them so much for the incredible job that they're doing.
And now I'd like to talk a little bit about my plans.
Yes.
All
right.
So
I like this plan.
Next month is going to be December. There's going to be another Ethereal court. We're getting ready for that, and I need some help from the populace of the East. I'm going to talk about it now, and then I'm going to throw up a little link and folder on Facebook and email list after court But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for pictures of pets. People who live in the East who have pets, if they have a picture of them, if they could send me that picture, I have a pet-related picture plan for December.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's all I really want to say right now. I suspect there are a lot of people who have pictures of their pets or could take a picture of their pet to send to us.
Yes, very much so. And now for some more recognitions.
We, the members of the Chivalry of the East, who call ourselves Masters at Arms, do hereby state to the populace that we will no longer have people address us as Master or Mistress.
We are honored by the members of the populace that wish to address us by those titles that we have earned through our dedication to the martial arts and the society.
We are aware of the sensitivity of the use of the title Master in our society, and the harm that the use of the title is causing, and understand that some of you have good reason to not want to address someone as Master.
At this time, we offer that those who wish to address us with a title use the title of Sir. Those members of the Order that do not wish to use Sir will make their preference known individually.
As always, it is appropriate to use those royal peerage titles that have been bestowed upon certain individuals. This is a first step towards alleviating discomfort for people, and we look forward to progress in conjunction with the other peerage orders of the East.
Their Majesties would see before them Nastasia Ivanova Medvedeva, called Tasha.
Here I am.
There she is. Absolutely. So I need you to talk to me about a certain group that you're involved in. What the note I have here is that you're part of our Northern Army Combat Archery Troop.
I am, Your Majesty. I started in 2016, 2017, and did my first Penzic in 2017, and it was a blast.
And I believe you're very fierce with your weapon of choice, which is...
Crossbow.
Yeah.
30-foot spear. 30-foot spear.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Can we talk about the bridge battle from 2 years ago at Penzic?
Sure.
I remember that.
I remember that bridge battle.
There was, we were on from the eastern side, it was a far left bridge, and we'd exhausted all of our reserves, and the enemy was trying to make a charge across the bridge, and the combat archers held them off for about 3 minutes until we could get back up to that bridge, and I believe that turned the tide of the battle.
I would agree with that assessment. I think my two favorite things when I think about you in combat archery is, one, your ability to encourage others to get involved in combat archery and facilitate them being able to participate. But then on the other end, your feedback to your divisional commander is what makes the combat archers of the East more effective.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I just really appreciate that we have combat archery in the East. Okay, and this person is leading one of the charges to make combat archery more of a thing in the East. And there's something that we would really like to give you in honor of this and induct you into the Order of the Solar Mantle.
Thank you so much, Your Majesty. I appreciate that. I've worked really hard to advocate for the combat archers and become a marshal because we need more marshals so we can have more archers.
Your work is pushing us in that direction, and you are absolutely right. It is vitally important as we move forward, if we want to stay an effective and deadly army, that we have the combat archers in numbers right there with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
When writ the tales of Northern War, among the rolls will be the name Tasha, Archer, whose razor claws fly with deadly aim and crazed fervor, strike fear in hearts. Though sleep the bears through winter winds, her bow sings songs of the shocked eyes who peer above shields only to be met by her own. Death soon follows. Thus, as is right, Magnus Tindal joins Alberic in naming her a member of the Order of the Silver Mantle. Let it be called from the heralds in the month when the herds are culled. Gormanur, halfway through the 55th year. Scroll by Quenthrith Wine. Words by Nicol McDonough.
For Tasha, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Mantle. Vivant.
Vivat.
Vivant.
Vivat.
Welcome to the order.
Welcome, Tasha.
Thank you.
Their Majesties would have before them the Sovereign's Champion of Horse, Gwenllian Rhiannon of Dragon Keep.
Hello, I'm here.
Hello, Your Excellency. How are you?
Well, I am very well, and how are you?
Doing quite well. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how well you rode in the Golden Lance video. Fantastic. We certainly did not have any side bets on how our respective champions were going to perform in that video.
Especially since mine gets disqualified. So yes, I'm glad we didn't bet at all.
But you have excelled it so much, I'd like to just kind of narrow that focus down to your excellence on horseback. You are not only currently my champion, but my understanding is the first event you ever rode at, you were selected as the Consorts champion.
That's true. And it certainly wasn't the first time I'd ridden, but it was the first event I actually competed at, yes.
And you have become quite a fixture in our Eastern equestrian community. So much so that as we got to watch you ride and hear feedback and get cajoled and receive a little bit of pressure, we would be remiss if we did not heed the words of our most noble order and induct you tonight into the Order of the Golden Lance.
Oh my God, you're kidding. Oh my God, that's such an honor.
One such as you, Your Excellency.
It's our pleasure to.
Oh my God, thank you. There are some very esteemed equestrians who are in that order, and that.
If I may, I suspect some of them may be here. If they would like to unmute themselves, that they may express what I think I'm seeing pop up in the chat, which is joy.
Welcome, Gwen.
Oh.
Congratulations, you so belong here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Gwen,
welcome.
We are so glad to see you join this order. You belong. You are one of us.
Thank you so much. You guys, I revere you so much, and I appreciate this so much. That's just beyond words. Thank you.
So she could be just as jubilant as her horse.
He is very jubilant. He's getting a bit old, but he's still jubilant.
Hold on.
Predecessors of sharper memory commended worthy equestrian deeds to the notice of their successors. One whose skill, grace, and horsecraft needed preservation is our King's Champion of Horse, Viscountess Gwenllian Rhiannon of Dragon Keep. Therefore do we, Consules Tindal and Alberic, raise a cromlech to Gwenllian and induct her into the Order of the Golden Lance. Strengthened by our writ in our beloved East Kingdom, Anno Societatis 55. Words by Matthias Grunwald, scroll by Marietta Chiray.
For Gwenllian, newest companion to the Order of the Golden Lance. Vivant! Vivant!
Vivat! Thank you all. Thank you so much.
It's over.
Their Majesties would have before them their Kingdom Exchequer, Mikhail Bugmother.
Hi, this is Mikhail.
Warm reception.
I know, right? Very, very happy, upbeat. It's really great. So we've heard some interesting things from a certain order, which have come to our ears, and it's really nice to see that as stepping up as Kingdom Exchequer, you've had a lot to deal with. And I believe that is a big understatement. So,
well, I mean, what I really appreciate is not only kind of the task as Kingdom Exchequer that you jumped into, but as someone who myself often needs someone that is thorough to walk me through the process, you are absolutely there. Like, if I have a question, you've already thought of that question and answered it. And that is fantastic in a time where we're moving forward, we're making some changes, but positive changes and fixing some things. It's always good to see someone that is truly a helper.
And basically just the Kingdom budget in general, which needed an overhaul, you did a great job with it, and it was real easy to read and real easy to understand.
Did not shy away from the profit sharing hot button issue there. I could go on all evening talking just about the narrow space of time when I've gotten to work with you, and I know that you've been working long before we got here and have had a real impact.
So tonight we wish to induct you into the Order of the Silver Crescent.
Thank you, Your Majesties. I am honored.
Your Majesties, there is a household medallion that is present with him now.
Excellent. Let's see it.
Show that there. It has a little glass sheep on it. And it was first for Duchess Thera, then to Baroness Asa Phelan, then to Baron Matthias, and then to Baroness Marietta, and now to Baron Mikhail.
It is fantastic to see a piece of legacy we're going to pass on.
And to hear the lineage, yes. And as I'm looking at the people behind you, behind the glass, which is kind of interesting, they give you that good extra oomph there to congratulate you.
I'm hoping he's turned around and seen them by now.
I hope so.
I'm sorry?
Have you looked
behind you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a number of friends and whatnot who have come out to celebrate there in the backyard by the fire bowl, waving in through the kitchen window. Not creepy at all.
Well, it's truly an honor to be in a position to get to recognize someone so worthy.
It's so well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Your Majesties. I am truly honored. Thank you.
Ingots of gold, silver, jewels, art are plenty, but the true treasure is the skilled hand and keen mind to carefully track each credit, each debit, each income, and every expense. The service of Mikhail Bogmadar as our Kingdom Exchequer has proven to us that his gifts are treasures beyond accounting. In the span of just under 2 years, he has rebuilt years of our records, has restructured the financial review process, and is leading the Kingdom financiers in working together for the future of the Kingdom. We, Tindal and Alberic, Consules of the Kingdom of the East, know the true treasure of the Kingdom are its people. We do then command Mikhail to debit 1 measure of gold and 1 of silver from the Kingdom coffers for his own keeping, with the acclaim of the Order, do induct him as a companion of the Order of the Silver Crescent, in witness whereof we have set our signs manual during our first reign in the 55th year of the Society. Scroll by Kaylee McWhite. Words by Kaylee and Ryan McWhite.
For Mikhail, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Crescent. Vivat!
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 Vivat! Your Majesties would call before them Lilius de Sherrington.
Hello, Your Majesties.
Hello.
Hello, it's me.
I can see you, And immediately, the first thing I see you and I think fencer.
Like, who's this guy?
You can't see him. I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you.
Okay.
So, I feel like it's. How long have you been a fencing marshal?
I say 15. He says 20.
All right. So I was warlord last Pennsic. Were you rapier 1?
Yes. How did I do?
You did fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, if you could have spawned a couple more Eastern troops, that would have been helpful. But you kept us safe on the field. You kept us working within the rules. That's the important part there. You're currently our Kingdom Officer of Fence, yes?
I am.
The current exchequer for Quintavia, or going to be?
Oh, I am, yeah. Both of them.
So wait, you're working as a Kingdom Marshal and you're an exchequer for Quintavia?
Yeah, the Earl Marshal said it was okay, and I didn't know what I was getting into, so now I'm doing both.
Hard working.
A Mick for EK50. That must have been interesting.
Marshal at Charge EK50? Really?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun,
just
except for the heat exhaustion part.
Yes.
I was there. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I'm going to add hardworking, reliable, proactive. Man, I wish I was coming up with all these words myself. These are words that other people keep telling me. It's a group of people that'll send me a message and say, hey, did you know? And at some point I get to say yes because 6 other people have already told me. And that's the kind of consensus that moves things. Your service and dedication exceeds expectations. We would have you join a group of people who traditionally exceed our expectations and induct you into our Order of the Silver Crescent.
Wow. Thank you, Your Majesties.
You're most welcome and well deserved.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It is easy to do things that are right. And this is something that is right and just. This was an easy decision to look at a body of work and a level of dedication and say, is this an exemplar of service in the East? Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Quae est ista quae progreditur quasi aurora consurgens, pulchra ut luna lunata, electa ut sol, terribilis ut castorum acies ordinata. Actiones ilia columnae marmoriae quae fundatae sunt super bases aureas, opera ea ut Atlantis mundus cognitus sustinens. Ea flos orientis illa lilias Charingtonis, sicut lilium inter spinas, sic domina nostrae inter tigrides. Sicut turis orientis vis ea, quae aedificata est cum propugnaculis, mille clipei pendant ex ea, omnis bellatores fortium. Si murus est, aedificamus super eam lunae argentae, si cimeliarcum est, ponamus corona orientis in cautione sua. Servicium eae quam signum in nostro cordibus, quam signum in nostra armis, quia fortis est ut mors nostra amor eae. In illo tempore cum illis verbis fecedunt, in primo anno suus maestates Tindale et Alberice consulibus inter nubes candentes exaltaverunt liliatem Charingtonis ad ordinem selenarium argenteum suo, ut hoc signum gerat, in pale, a crescent inverted argent, and an eastern crown or, simul ut potentias et responsibilitates ordini utatur in saecula saeculorum, vivat. Who is she that cometh forth as the morning rising, fair as the crescent moon, bright as the sun, terrible as an army set in array? Her acts as pillars of marble that are set upon bases of gold. Her labors like Atlas supporting the known world. She is the flower of the East, this Lilias of Charrington. As the lily among the thorns, so is Our Lady among the tigers. Her strength is the tower of the East, which is built with bulwarks. 1,000 bucklers hang upon it, all the armor of valiant warriors. If she be a wall, let us decorate it with inverted crescents of silver. If she be a treasury, let us place an eastern crown within her care. Her service is as a seal upon our hearts, as a seal upon our arms, for our love for her is as strong as death. It was in those times and with those words that their Majesties Tindal and Alberic, in the year of their first consulship, did, amidst clouds of light, elevate Lilias of Charrington to their order of the silver crescent, that she might bear the mark, in pale, a crescent inverted argent and an eastern crown or, and exercise the powers and responsibilities of that order for ever and ever. Vivat. Calligraphy and illumination by Asa Phelan Yosser's daughter. Scroll text by Gunthorm Denger, Ilia Fortunata, and Jeremiah Stryden. Translation by Ilia Fortunata.
For Lilias, newest companion to the Order of the Silver Crescent. Vivat!
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 So, as I had said in previous courts, I have a hard time watching myself on camera. So, our gracious chief of staff asks us some questions during some things, and if you see me doing a thumbs up or a thumbs down while we're up in the box while you're watching court, it's basically a series of true-false questions where we do a thumbs up and a thumbs down. And I'm very sorry if that confuses people, if it concerns people in watching court. So I'm going to talk about some upcoming events. And what I'm going to go with first is the Sparkly and Shiny, being hosted by the Barony of Smoking Rocks, also co-hosted by the Metalsmiths Collective. And there's going to be live demos of metalworking and glassworking, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And that's coming up the November 14th.
November 14th. Do you know what else is going on November 14th?
What's going on November 14th?
There's the virtual live reading of Beowulf.
Yes.
I know because I'm in it. Also, a lot of really good people are in it. And so what I would say is that's in the evening, right? Like that would be a good time to sit down, nice food, some drink, watch the other fantastic people reading Beowulf, put up with me for a minute. That's another thing also happening on the 14th. And the 15th.
Beowulf is a good read. Beowulf is definitely a good read. I remember a thing that happened here in Concordia. It was an epic event of Beowulf. So I'm really glad to seeing it come back.
Yeah.
And watching virtually and all the new people who are doing Beowulf, especially your Majesty.
Truthfully, I was honored to be invited, and I'm happy to be able to have even a small part in it. There's a lot of people working very hard to make it very fantastic.
It is no easy task trying to coordinate a thing like that.
So it's fantastic to see that there are still opportunities to learn, to grow, to enjoy. I know that I did a little bit of that yesterday at Jar Wars.
That was a lot of fun. Very good, interesting platform that they chose to do it with. Something that was new to me, and it was really great to talk to everybody at Jar Wars.
Yeah. So now let's talk about some more Easter.
Their Majesties would speak with Mikhail Melraki, the Kingdom Throne Weapons scorekeeper.
Hello, Your Majesties.
Good evening. There's been a lot of talk about dedicating some more time talking about our thrown weapon scores, our royal rounds on the archery field, and I understand that there is a specific individual that has accomplished something that we need to be paying attention to.
Yes, Your Majesty. The thrown weapons community has been thriving a lot lately, and one individual has been a major force for this. In 2019, this individual submitted 51 out of the 530 scores for royal rounds. So he alone submitted 10% of the scores and managed to get an average of 60.67, which is out of a maximum possible 72 points. And that gives him the new rank of Grand Master, and he is the first person to reach that rank in the East Kingdom. And this would be Sir Cedric of Thanet.
This is a fantastic accomplishment.
But right now, like for the Inter-Kingdom Thrown Weapons Challenge, he is by far leading the axe category, the spear category, and the knife category. Some of those by over 20 points, just or by himself.
And he's an all-weather thrower, I believe.
Yes, he is.
And in Maine. Right?
Yes,
There's all-weather throwers, and then there's all-weather throwers in Maine.
Okay.
Yeah, last year he submitted scores every single month from January through December.
Very dedicated.
Yes, he is.
So I'm hoping Cedric can say something so that I can actually get to see him and say congratulations.
I'm here, Your Majesty.
There you are.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very well done.
It has been fantastic to see someone excelling in several communities within our kingdom, but really standing out amongst the throwing community has been impressive. It's a pleasure to get to recognize you and hopefully encourage some other people to pick up some weapons and hurl them at things.
I just say that the Thrones Weapons community is probably one of the most welcoming communities I've met in the SCA, and I've been in since 1983. So,
as someone who throws less than you do, the times when I dabble in throwing, I am immediately welcomed in. But you mentioned when you started in the SCA, so that was nearly 40 years ago?
36.
You have done a tremendous amount during your SCA career. Beyond throwing, beyond fighting.
And not just for the East either. Another group has mentioned all of your service to the kingdom overall with all the jumping in that you've done over these years. But they give up your time, you're creating largesse. There's lots of things that you have done, and we're so appreciative of that. And this group of people has reached out to us and given us this opportunity to give you some certain recognition and to induct you into the Order of the Pelican.
Thank you.
So at this time, I can see some very happy pelicans clapping. Some very supportive people that you have probably personally helped at some point. Moving forward, we would ask that you take this writ and that we coordinate a time that would be right to fully recognize everything that you have accomplished in a manner befitting an astounding individual such as yourself.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm very, very humbled by this honor.
For Cedric of Thanet, newest Grand Master Thrower in the East Kingdom, and the question before him regarding joining the Order of the Pelican. Vivat!
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 Vivat! Their Majesties would now have before them Otto Gottlieb.
Hello, I'm here. Unexpectedly.
No, you're expected.
Okay.
we were expecting you. Yes, pretty much.
Yes,
Very much so. So the amount of years that we've actually worked together in certain projects, you've been the zip code legatus. Are you still the zip code legatus?
Yes.
That's been many years now, hasn't it?
7 years. Yes.
Been a long time. Been a long time.
You are currently the Baron. Yes.
Yes. Although we've missed a lot of events, but yes, technically.
Hey now.
I think we've all been missing events. We've all been missing events.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that stands out to me is that not only are you currently the Baron, but you were the Seneschal that transitioned from Shire to Barony, right?
That is correct, with the help of a fantastic group of people.
I like that you're giving credit to those that supported you, but I'm going to let you know that they gave you a lot of credit there too. That is not a small job.
It is not.
It is not.
No, it's not.
We can talk about brewing.
We could talk about brewing. We could also talk about his archery marshalling. We could talk about a whole list of things that this person has done.
But at this point, that we'd like to turn the conversation into a question and offer you a writ to consider elevation to the Order of the Pelican.
Wow.
Hey, Otto.
Yay, Otto!
Hugely unexpected.
Yay, I didn't mess up.
So well deserved.
It's really sometimes hard to do if you're really up for it, and to be able to get to that gotcha moment over these kind of things. So I will say personally for me that I really enjoyed this gotcha moment, just for the sheer look on your face and just the sheer happiness of the other people that are in this group, hearing those words and saying those words to you.
It's a huge honor, and thank you. I am humbled.
For Otto and the question before him, Vivat!
Fantastic to see so many Easterners, worthy Easterners, being recognized. And we really want to put a shout out to all the people who have written these people in. So we are still looking for recommendations. We're still looking for any recommendations you want to give, even for orders of high merit or peerages. Those
polling orders.
That I think kind of like that. The pace of that will hit that next calendar year, end of January, beginning of February, right where I would expect to see that next polling happen. But those award recommendations can come in right now, so that we can consult the order later.
Most certainly.
And that gives us a wide sampling right now, especially of the people that are having a positive influence on your experience in the SA in the East that we should be recognizing.
So now we will see one of these elevations.
The Consules of the East would have before them Elizabeth Marshall to answer the question before her.
Oyez! 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 Let all present and all abroad rejoice, for today brings due recognition and celebration of a true lady of the East Kingdom, a skilled and studied artisan, a constant teacher and perpetual student, a leader and staunch supporter from Shire to Barony to Kingdom. The journey that began the day she set foot in our august kingdom continued under the tutelage of Mistress Gabrielle d'Outremer and Mistress Elizabeth Talbot. Along the way, her path of service has followed the silver gleaming of a crescent moon, and from her generously adorned sleeves trail the royal colors of purple and gold to mark the way for artisans to follow. She threads needles with the very rays of the rising sun, and her embroideries bright in royalty who keep her close in their esteem. Your Majesties, I present to you and your court a thread whisperer, a squirrel herder, revered member of L'Atelier de Bis Escarlate, once and future Deputy Guild Mistress of Athena's Thimble, and the only non-laurel to date to have served there as Guild Mistress, Lady Elizabeth Marshall.
Lady Elizabeth, you have long been pondering a question, and we are eagerly anticipating your answer, but before we progress, stunning outfit.
Thank you.
stunning outfit, but it screams to me that there is unfinished business that needs to be attended.
There is, Your Majesty. Their Majesties would invite into their court Mistress Gabrielle and Mistress Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I am here to take back something that I gave to you many, many years ago. But just because I'm taking this back doesn't mean my love for you and our relationship is over. I want to speak a moment about Elizabeth's talent as an embroiderer. When I met her, I was overwhelmed by her skill. Her embroidery was some of the most beautiful I had ever seen. And I couldn't wait for her to become my apprentice, not because I felt there was anything I could teach her, but because I felt she had something to teach me. And she has. Not only have you taught me your skill and the things that you know, and your research is incredible, but you've taught me how to be a better person and a better friend. Always. I'm always going to be.
Elizabeth, when Gabrielle moved away, my sister moved away, you and I began a closer relationship that involved encouragement and long discussion and support and love. I want you to know that I respect so greatly the level of service you have given to your local group and the society at large, the exquisite meticulousness of your work, the comfort with which you have assumed difficult administrative positions, and most of all, your patience and grace. And I want you, please, to understand that the world sees them, not just the two of us. This ceremony is an acknowledgement of that, and I want you to take it to heart. These things are yours, you are of them, and they are of you. Be fabulous. Do well, and I'm so glad that you are my friend.
Elizabeth, Beth, take this belt, which I had made for myself, as a symbol of the movement in our relationship. Not an end, not a beginning, but a movement.
I'm honored. Your Majesties?
Your Majesties.
Thank you for those kind words.
Thank you.
We will now hear your answer.
My answer is yes. As I was told at the time, there is only one answer.
So please call.
Their Majesties would have before them their Order of the Laurel.
As this noble order gathers and awaits your induction, I would be reminded of what brought you here. Your virtues, your skills, that which has made you worthy to stand as their equal. Is there a member of the chivalry that would speak for this candidate?
Yes, Your Majesty. I, Rear Karl Erdikter von Sauberberg, have come here today to attest to the fact that I do indeed know this lady, this fine gentlewoman. In fact, I have known her for many years, and I have always seen her as attentive to her arts. Yet, if she had instead chosen a martial path, then she would indeed be one who would look strongly to her position to ensure it was correct, and who would gather and marshal her forces and defend her position with no let-up until such time, perhaps, as a better position was found. Indeed, she would be a formidable foe, and one to truly take note of. Therefore, I must say that I do believe that this woman is my peer.
Is there a member of the Order of the Rose that would speak for this candidate?
Greetings to your majesties and to all those assembled here today. I am Contessa Viana de la Mare, member of the Orders of the Laurel and Rose, Guild Mistress of the Keepers of Athena's Thimble. And while I cannot be here in person today, it is my honor and privilege to speak on behalf of the Rose for Elizabeth. Elizabeth and I met through our mutual love of embroidery at an Athena's Thimble panel many, many years ago. Through this group and our art, we became friends. And later, when I became queen, she graciously took over as interim guild mistress to lead the best damn guild in the known world, which I greatly appreciated. The day we transferred responsibility, I asked her, for how many years has she served as deputy guild mistress? And she said 3. Not years though, 3 guild mistresses. And that's more than a decade of service. Elizabeth, your skill and passion, while always beautiful, has been honed and refined. I have witnessed you teach, guide, encourage, and bring others into our group. Throughout it all, I've watched you grow and thrive, and I saw a remarkable change in you. She is ready to be a peer, your majesties, and I have every faith that she will wear the leaves well, and through her courtesy and generosity, bring much honor to our order. Thank you.
And I would speak for this candidate.
Your majesties, I seek to claim that honor. I am Doucette de Verdun, Baroness of the Court, Companion of the Order of the Silver Crescent, Companion of the Order of the Golden Lance, Companion of the Order of the Pelican. I wish to speak for Elizabeth on the behalf of service itself. I have known Elizabeth for longer than I care to remember. I love her. I love the beautiful things that she creates. But I know one thing about her. Listen, and you'll hear maybe a few people over here saying, well, that's not right. It's not working that way. If you hear that, turn around. Elizabeth is already stepping up to fix it. Listen, when you hear someone say, oh, no one's doing that job, shouldn't someone be doing that job? If you hear that, turn around. Elizabeth already applied for the job. Listen, when you hear someone say, it can't work that way, it will hurt the kingdom, it will hurt the people. There's 10 people all crowded saying, what will we do? All you need to do is turn around. She is already fixing it. I trust her. I have never once heard her complain. I have only seen her walk in and do what everyone else wishes would be done. She is absolutely our peer. Thank you.
Is there a member of the Order of Defense that would speak for this candidate?
Your Majesties, I bring the words of Alice McIntosh. Greetings and good fortune to your Majesties and to all persons of whatever estate as may see or hear these my words of praise. I am Alice McIntosh, Mistress of the Pelican, Mistress of the Laurel, Master of Defense and 11th Tiger of the East, and I speak today in support of the elevation of Elizabeth Marshall to the peerage. The remit of the Order of Defense is to speak to perseverance and overcoming obstacles. Elizabeth has not fought foes on the battlefield, but she has demonstrated as much perseverance and determination as any soldier. Hers is the quieter, steadier perseverance of patience and meticulous care for detail. She demonstrates patience with each stitch of her embroidery, with each selection of ingredients, with each careful staging of beautiful food for someone's vigil or feast. This quiet virtue is a thing of beauty. Particularly for the Order of the Laurel, it is justly to be applauded, and aptly to be recognized with the Society's highest honor. I commend Elizabeth Marshall to your majesties most heartily as a worthy addition to the peerage. As says Her Excellency, so say I.
Is there a member of the Laurel who would like to speak for this speech?
I am Mistress Ariam Ngai Mokan, formerly Annalisa, and I am reading the words today of Mistress Anne of Hatfield. Your Majesties, peers of the East Realm and dear friends, I am Anne of Hatfield, Laurel, Pelican, founding Baroness Dragonship Haven, and founding Guild Mistress of the Keepers of Athena's Thimble. I come before you today to sing the praises of Lady Elizabeth Marshall. I met this gracious lady some 18 years ago at the Thimble's second pentathlon at the Ukrainian homestead. She had only been in the SCA for 2 years, but was already sufficiently skilled in embroidery to enter the pent in her own right. In her third SCA year, she became the drop-dead deputy guild mistress to my successor, Mistress Gabrielle Deltremere. She has held this important position for more than 17 years. She has backed up every guild mistress since me, for which all of our guild mistresses have been very grateful. Elizabeth is dedicated to her art. Her work is thoroughly researched and carefully planned in order to replicate period works. For example, when creating the Marshall tapestry that you see here today, not only are the figures accurate in style, but they match the sizes of the originals, of those in the original work. Her work could be dropped onto the original and it would not look out of place. Most especially, Elizabeth is always teaching. She is unfailingly generous with her time and her talent. It does not matter whether she is, where she is, what she is doing, but she will go into teaching mode when asked. Her classes are crafted to include not just how to do the technique, but also the information one should have to do it successfully in period fashion. She is a teacher of the highest order. She has been a model of laurelness since her early days in the East Kingdom, long before she was recommended to your majesties for this honor. I have nothing but love and respect for her, and it will be my honor and privilege to address her as Mistress Elizabeth Marshall of your majesties' order, noble order of the Laurel. I only regret that I am not there to do this in person. As she has spoken, it comes from my heart as well.
We have heard the words. Now we will get the regalia. Is there a veil?
Yeah, the big one goes on the back.
Is there a medallion that others may know of her rank?
Does it have a lineage?
This medallion was made for Elizabeth by Mistress Brenwyn Rose.
Is there a wreath?
There is, Your Majesties. This embroidered fillet was made for Elizabeth by Marehill. Hi, Marehill.
Sorry. It's costume rules. All stitches firmly in place. Is there a cloak that she may remain warm as winter comes?
Yes, Your Majesty. I want to say that this cloak was an effort, a multi-kingdom effort.
That is a truly magnificent cloak.
Yeah, take that. From many members of the Order of the famous symbol participated in this day for her. I can't get it.
Elizabeth's badge is the squirrel, as you can see.
Yes. It's well represented, the entire...
It has been a very squirrel-themed sort of day.
What is a group of squirrels?
Yes.
Okay, honest answer.
It is a full stadium of squirrels.
Stadium of squirrels. I love it.
So let it be done.
We will now hear your oath.
I, Elizabeth Marshall, hereby swear fealty to the Kingdom of the East and you who rule. To the best of my ability, I offer the work of my hands and teaching of my art. I offer my service and my advice, sought and unsought. By this sword and these tools of my art, I so swear.
I, Alberic.
And I, Tindal.
Hear your words and know them to be true.
We will heed your counsel and allow it to enrich us in times of light and darkness, in times of peace and war.
Until the world ends or the crowns come from our heads.
You will always have a place at our hearth and the protection of the crown of the East.
So swear I, Alberic.
And I, Tindal.
Magnus Tindal and Albert von Rostock, Consules of the East, and all faithful people of the East, greetings. Know that we appoint Elizabeth Marshall a mistress of the Order of the Laurel, even as decreed in the day of Queen Margarita, our forebearer, for her excellence and skill at embroidery, and her service to the ancient and honorable guild and craft thereof. Wherefore we will and grant and firmly command that she will hold this honor from us and our heirs, performing its duties well and freely and honorably, even as our peers in our lands hold this honor, and with it the dignities and freedoms and customs that these aforementioned peers hold. And we grant and reaffirm unto her these arms by letters patent. Azure, 3 squirrels maintaining a threaded needle oar. Done in the year of the Great Plague, Anno Societatis 55, at Chateau de Losenel. Words by Mr. Vika Zaprasi. Calligraphy and illumination by Patrona Katharina Giardini.
Thank you. It's a lovely thing to see an order so enriched.
We're very glad to be able to complete this quest for you, becoming Mistress of the Laurel.
For Mistress Elizabeth, newest companion to the Order of the Laurel.
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
That's not true.
There's not. That is not true. I need to do a thing.
Yes.
I need to do a thing. So, if you please call this gentleman.
Yes. Consul Albert would have before him Mistress Bryony.
What real good have you been up to?
Yeah, all of it. Your Majesty.
Mrs. Bryony, we've known each other on and off for a very, very long time.
Yes.
You were once the head of the greatest guild,
the best guild in the
whole
world,
Athena symbol, and it has inspired me.
Oh.
So I am now going to give you my token of inspiration as a thank you for being the guild mistress of the greatest known member of the world.
And I just want to officially welcome you, and I'm so glad that I have all of you here today. Really, it's...
Well, this guild has also inspired the entire East Kingdom. So thank you very much for hosting us today.
For Mistress Bryony, recipient of His Majesty Alberic's token of inspiration.
Vivat! Vivat! Vivat!
There being no further business, Your Majesty.
No, that's it.
I do want to again say thank you to Mr. Sprani for hosting us and for the elevation. I also want to thank our attendants who were there that day to help us set up, Baroness Kassir and my lovely daughter Hannah, who I hope is watching tonight. So I really appreciate everybody in the East Kingdom coming to watch your courts, and thanks to everybody, and congratulations to everybody who received awards this evening.
I'm very thankful of the effort. The information that our group of girls is called a scurry or a dray. Always learning, always improving, just like the kingdom. Thank you all for joining us this evening. It's been fantastic to get to share time with people, and as it's gotten colder during court, I said it was unseasonably warm at the beginning. I'm now regretting those words and wishing I had toga. We look forward to getting to interact with you over the coming months, seeing you back here again in December, and taking advantage of the ANS Championship that is coming up,
And the upcoming information for Bardic Champions as well.
yes, as well as I'm looking forward to those events we talked about, and all of the other opportunities that people have within the East to stay connected, to stay active within the kingdom. It's always an inspiration and a source of pleasure to see the dedication and the time that people are putting in and the fantastic results of those efforts. Thank you for joining us.
And please join us next time when we have court or Consul of the Council.
There being no further business, herein closes the court of the Consulates of the East.
Oh my. Little karaoke.